Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to paint Fulgrim, Daemon Primarch of Slaanesh. I already made a video doing an unboxing and assembling of this miniature, so in case that you're interested, I'm going to leave the link in the description. The first thing that I'm going to do is to prime this miniature, and for that I'm going to use Chaos Black from Citadel. Miniature prime, so let's start painting. The first color that I would like to use is Abaddon Black, that I will use to paint the armor and all the talons that we can see on the miniature. And after that I'm going to use Corvus Black, that I will use to paint the wings and all the scales. I'm going to continue by applying Nagar of Night on the snake part of Fulgrim, except of course by the scales that I already painted, and then I'm also going to apply this color on the upper part of the wings. Okay, now I'm going to use Demon at Height to paint the lighter areas of Fulgrim. Also I'm going to use it to paint the arms, and change of plans I'm also going to use to paint the inside parts of the wings, because I think it will be nicer. This is starting to look like something, so now I'm going to use Dawnstone to paint everything that later is going to be white, specifically this feather right here and the hair. Let's continue with those base colors, and now I'm going to use Abaddon Black to paint all the armor plates, and after that I'm going to use Iron Warriors to paint the whip, the inside parts of the power armor, and also I'm going to paint this sword right here. Now I'm going to use Balthasar Gold, and this is going to be an important color because I want to add a lot of gold to this miniature. I will use it to paint the trim of the armor, I will use it to paint these details around this area, I will use it to paint the handles of the weapons, this part of the cape right here. Also I will use it to paint this decoration that we have here. So basically now I will try to add a lot of gold details. Well, before applying gold, I'm going to use Khorne Red to paint the open wound right here, because like that it will be much easier. I didn't finish with the gold, and I already was like, no, I do not like how this miniature is looking. I really dislike how it looks right now. So basically, I don't know what I'm doing. I just started to paint this miniature. I thought that this combination of colors was going to look nicer, but in the end, no, I don't like this. So I'm going to change my plans, and now I'm going to paint the black parts of the power armor with Nagar of Night. Okay, now I'm much more happier with the armor because, of course, with this pre-heresy color scheme, it's difficult to be wrong. So I'm happy now. I think it looks much better. But before I finish with the gold, I want to try something different because right now the miniature is too violet. So I would like to add some Emperor's Children pink to the arms and the wings. Now I'm starting to be happier with this miniature. We still have a lot of things to correct and to paint, but we are on the right path, I think. Now I'm going to use Wraithbone to paint all over the grey color that I applied previously, and after that I'm going to use Khorne red to paint this cape. I want these talons to be black, and that's why now for this part that I left black here, I'm going to apply again Nagaroth Knight. With this, I consider that I finished with all the base colors. Of course, I still need to paint a lot of small details, but they are details and I prefer to leave them for later. So now I'm going to start with the shades, and I will start with Ruchi Violet that I'm going to apply to the whole tail, the violet parts of the power armor, and also to the wings. Now I'm going to apply a little bit of contrast apothecary white on the white areas of Fulgrim. To continue with the shades, now I'm going to apply Agrax Earth Shade to the gold color. I'm going to start applying some highlights, and of course the first highlight that I would like to use is Fulgrim Pink to highlight the pink color. The next highlight that I'm going to use is this one that I will use to highlight the armor, and also I would like to use it to highlight the black scales of the tail. Now I'm going to add an extra highlight of purple color using Genestealer Purple, and I will apply it to the armor and to the scales on the tail. I use the same base colors for the armor and the tail, so now I would like to differentiate them a little bit more, so I will use two different highlights for the tail. First, I'm going to start with Demonette Hide, and after that I'm going to apply an extra highlight of Slaanesh Grey. Okay, now I'm going to use again Khorne Red to paint the handle of the weapons, and after that I'm going to use again Balthasar Gold to finish with the gold elements that we have here on the tail. I think that now we can start with the highlights of the gold color, and for that I'm going to use Retributor Armor. Now I'm going to use Evil Sun Scarlet to highlight that red color of the cape and the handle of the weapons. This is a character that I think that he deserves an extra highlight, so now I'm going to use Wild Rider Red to highlight a little bit more that red color. To highlight the silver color, I'm going to use Lead Vulture. Now I'm going to apply Nuln Oil to that silver color. To finish with the silver color, I'm going to apply a last highlight of Stormhost Silver. For the black color, I'm going to use two different highlights. First, I'm going to apply Eshin Grey, and after that, I'm going to apply a second highlight with Dawnstone. And for the final highlight, I'm going to use Corax White to highlight the white color. I think that it's time to finally paint those eyes, and for that first I'm going to apply Cavalite Green, and after that I'm going to apply Sybarite Green. At this point I just have a lot of different jewels to paint, and the first thing that I'm going to do is to paint them with Abaddon Black, because as you can see here, for example, while painting other things I painted all over them. I consider that green is the color that will suit the most this color scheme, and that's why I will paint most of them green. I'm going to start applying Caliban green, and after that I will use colors that I applied already. Cavalite green, Sybarite green, and Corax white. I'm still missing a few details, but before I go any further, now I would like to base this miniature because I think that it's the time to do it. I want something very simple and subtle, so basically what I'm going to do right now is to use one of these to create some texture in the base, and after that I'm just going to cover the whole base with astrogranite. At this point, I'm just going to apply null oil to the base, and after that I'm just going to dry brush the same grey colors that I used previously, Ancient Grey and Dawnstone. And this is it, this is how I painted Fulgrim. The miniature is awesome, and even if it was quite challenging to paint for me because a lot of reasons, like for example this was the first miniature of the Emperor's Children that I have ever painted, so I didn't know what I was doing, and I think that that's clearly noticeable in the video because, I mean, I painted the wings 3 times with 3 different colors. In the end, I think that it looks okay. I don't have any complaint or regrets. I'm happy with it. And the same with the armor. I painted the armor twice. So yes, for sure it was challenging. I didn't know what I was doing. But I have to say that right now I'm happy with how this miniature looks. But of course, as always, I invite you to let me know in the comments what you think about this miniature. And obviously, if you like the content and you would like to support the channel and help me to continue improving, I invite you to check the link to my Patreon in the description. I hope that even if I changed my mind a lot of time during the video, you enjoyed how it was the process of painting this miniature. I didn't want it to change or remove the things that I was doing because everything was part of the process of painting the miniature, and sometimes it's like that, right? Like we start painting something, we are not super happy with the result, and then we made some changes. But yes, that's it. This is how I painted Fulgrim. By the way, I would like to mention that even if I assembled fully this miniature and I managed to paint it nicely, because of that it was more difficult for me to record, and yes, it was more challenging to paint because of that. So if at some point you would like to get Fulgrim and paint him, I really suggest you to try to do sub-assemblies, because like that is going to be much easier. Because even if it feels like there's like a lot of space to put the brush everywhere, I thought that actually if you start painting, there's so many things around that you will hit your brush against things even if you are being careful. So yes, for sure this is a miniature that it's much better to paint in sub-assemblies. And with all of that being said, I think that I don't have much else to say about Fulgrim yet. So this is it, this is the end of the video, this is how I painted Fulgrim. For sure, very soon I'm going to be sharing pictures of him as well, so maybe there I will share a little bit more of my thoughts, but so far I can say that I'm happy with how my Fulgrim looks. As always, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.